So Robbie, great to sit down before our FA Trophy clash with Altrincham. But before we touch on a reunited of our rivalry, obviously in the week there's been some speculation about your future at the club. Is there anything you want to add from your end?
Well, when you get linked to league clubs, I think it's an acknowledgement how well my staff, my team are performing. Without their drive and their determination and their attitude to win games of football, you wouldn't get linked with clubs. It's nice to be linked. It shows that you're doing well as a group, and it's the group that deserve all the credit. The relentless nature of how they play, how they want to improve, how they have that mentality to not to get beat, is credit to them. So, we've got to keep winning games for Macclesfield Football Club, and of course, my aim, my ambition is to manage as high as I possibly can. And right now I'm a Step 3 manager at a huge football club, one of the biggest clubs in non-league. It's a league club in status with at Step 3 because we all know why. Our determination is to get up through the league as quickly as we can. We know it's a difficult task. We failed at the final hurdle last season, but we're in a good position. And let's be honest, with the size of our football club and with our quality of players and our recruitment strategy, we should be at the top of the league, near the top of the league, winning games of football. And I've just got to manage those players and, know how to manage a group. And I'm in a different situation now as a manager, where as a player, I was always, especially in the Premier League, if you've stayed up or if you finished mid-table or even if you finished in the top 6, which I did in one season, it was a brilliant season. And if you're playing against the top teams, you get anything. You're coming off that pitch, shattered, doing everything you can to get a result. Now it's different. Now I'm managing a club who are expected to win games of football on a weekly basis. So the attitude, the mentality for me is different. As a player, I was in a team of, I wouldn't say underdogs, but a team who had to fight to get every point. Now, with the quality of players we have, it's about me managing those players, knowing the individual, knowing the collective to get results. So again, it's down to them that the speculation comes about. But right now, I'm really happy at Macclesfield. We've got a job to do. We've got to win the league, which is the most important thing for the football club and for the fan base. But I know what it means to Macclesfield fans to try and get into the National League system, and that's that ultimate goal. I'm really happy. I'm really enjoying it. I've got great staff, great players, great crowd. And right now, we're in a position where we can enjoy a game against Alti, who are a fantastic football club.
As you mentioned, there's a lot of excitement within the whole club, really. Fans, players, staff, of the game against Altrincham. Is it excitement from your end, or is it a really good test for you going up against a National League club?
Excitement. Pitting my wits against Phil Parkinson, who's a brilliant manager. Altrincham, I've had great dealings with him. Obviously, we've got James Berry, who has been linked with Premier League clubs for £5 million. I've spoke to Bill and Sam and people at the club this week. Great communication. Text the manager this morning. So again, it's a rivalry which dates back years. I don't think the two clubs have ever met in the Football League. Hopefully one day that will be the case, where both clubs, can pit their wits against each other in the Football League. That'll be brilliant. Altrincham, I got huge respect for. They've recruited unbelievably well. They got a fantastic manager. To beat York City at home 3-0, looking at the forward players in the 4-2-3-1. They got Linney off the side coming in on his right foot. They got some exceptional players. So again, we know it's going to be tough, but as I've said it, we've gone up against Tamworth, and on another day could have beat Tamworth, who have beat Huddersfield and Burton and are playing Spurs, and I'm delighted they got Spurs. What a fantastic thing for Tamworth, who beat us in the FA Cup. But on another day we could have beat them. Went to Gateshead last year, only lost 2-1, and could have got something in that second half. We've beat Curzon National on penalties, who are top of the National League North with a game in hand. So this group has been built for those levels. So we've done the fine detail, we've done the planning, we've done the analysis. We're ready. We're always ready for games. But I'll say to the players tomorrow, go out there, in a game which might be the biggest game some of you might ever play in. It'll be a great atmosphere. It'll be a bit windy, a bit drizzly. It's 3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon. It's what football's made for. Those occasions, cup tie, a team we played in pre-season who were very, very good. So again, these games take care of themselves. No words are needed. We'll run hard, we'll fight, we'll win duels, we'll win second balls, and we'll have a game plan. And again, it's going to be about the 18 tomorrow, not about the starting 11. We've said it, we've got starters and finishers. And last week, when you're 0-0 up a real tough place to go, Workington, and you're bringing off your top scorer after 56 minutes, people thinking, they're settling for a point. But no, we wanted to win the game. It's about the collective, not the individual. And Danny Elliott's been magnificent. But we had to win a game of football, and I thought by doing that was changing to the 4-2-3-1, getting the wide players on. Duff's moving inside to the 10. And if you look at the goal, the 4-2-3-1 really worked with Sean dropping in, Kenji on the overlap, Damani getting across the near post, and Duff's, as the 10 not being tracked. So again, it won us the game by taking off your top goal scorer. So we've got a plan. On all I can say is those players will give our fan base, the 1,056 who are travelling, sold out in 48 hours, everything. And, we know we're up against it, but it's a great test to see where those players are. But I know they're good enough. I believe in them. I know they're good enough. And if we have the game plan, we've got a real opportunity.
You alluded briefly to the Gateshead game last season. Obviously, it was a game that was played by windy conditions, and with Storm Dara closing in, it's probably what we're going to expect tomorrow. Do you think our experiences from that Gateshead are going to put us in good stead potentially?
Well, it was a game of two halves, literally 2-0 with the wind. The Gateshead's a very difficult place to go. Yes, it was windy, and the difference is Alty, it hasn't got a running track round. So when the ball went out, at Gateshead, it took an age to come back. Listen, on the day, their first half performance won the game, and deservedly so. But our lads give everything on the day. So we know we can compete against National League sides, and Alty, I've got to say, I admire them. I think they're brilliant. And as I said, I think Phil Parkinson's doing a wonderful job. And he knows he's in for a tough game. Listen, I believe we can go there and get something. I really, really do. Every game we go into, I believe we can get something. I believe we could beat Tamworth. And on another day, we would have. No question about it with the opportunities we had. But we didn't. And I don't want to be sitting there after the game tomorrow saying, do you know what, how many chances have we missed? Let's be ruthless. Let's be clinical. Let's go and take our chances and take it to them. We're not going to sit back. We've got a way of playing. Of course, I can adapt. I'm not stubborn. If the game's not going to how I say, I will make changes. I'll make changes early with my management team. But the lads will be ready. They've had a great week of training. There's been some feisty tackles in training, as you've seen on social media, but everybody's pushing each other. There's a willingness to get into the team. There's a willingness to get into the 18 tomorrow. So again, we've got some unbelievable players playing at the top of their form. It's a big occasion. They've got to handle that occasion, but they'll be inspired. They'll be inspired by what we say to them. I hope they will. And I know that when that buzzer goes at 5-3, they'll be ready. They'll be, that badge will be on their chest, and they'll look at our fans, 1,056, and thinking, do you know what? Let's get something here. What the club's been through over the years. These are the occasions you want as a player. These are the occasions you want as a manager. And one thing's for sure, Ben, we'll be ready, but we know we're playing against a very good opposition, an opposition we respect, but we're ready. It's going to be a good night tonight, watch a bit of TV, but again, the heart will start pumping, racing ahead of tomorrow. But again, I just urge the fans to enjoy the occasion. Let's celebrate, both clubs on and off the pitch, and have a real good encounter.
As you alluded to, it was over 1,000 fans making the journey tomorrow, and as you mentioned briefly, it's an occasion for both clubs to enjoy. But obviously for our fans, they've been our 12th man all season. They need to be that tomorrow again, don't they?
They always are. Listen, the 50 fans who travelled to Workington were brilliant. The other fans who travelled to Curzon and Ashton, brilliant. The fans who travel everywhere, brilliant. And the fans of all clubs who travel, the away support is magnificent. And I'd urge them, enjoy the occasion. It's a draw which is brilliant for both clubs. but again, get behind the team, which you always do. This season there'll be ups and downs. At Tamworth, they were magnificent. And tomorrow might not go our way. And if it doesn't, we brush ourselves down, we go again. But I honestly believe, and my management team believe, we've got a group of players who can compete in the National League system. We'll see tomorrow. We failed once against Tamworth. And when I say failed, we lost the game, but we were brilliant. We were magnificent. And if they can put in a performance like that tomorrow, then we've got a chance. We've got pace, we've got power, we've got creativity, we've got drive, we've got determination. And the reason why, we're top of the league by 15 points is because of that team spirit and togetherness, which people throw at us sometimes. But what I've seen so far this season, that togetherness, that collectiveness, to go out and try and win every game of football. And that's what we're certainly trying to do tomorrow. But it's a team who are very good, and I got the massive respect for Phil Parkinson and his group of players. And let's see, may the best team win.